What the Fibble Thip is up, YouTube? It's me, Phang, and I'm back with some more MTG Arena standard ranked gameplay video. And I've got a banger for you today. At least I think it is. I've got some pet favorites in this deck, and I'm incredibly excited to show you. So let's get into the deck itself. We'll go over the cards, then we're going to hit the ladder, and we're going to beat some people up, hopefully. Little disclaimer though, this is a fun one. I'm not making any promises about its performance. I did rank up from where I was plateaued at in Platinum 4 and finally made it to 3 after weeks of being stuck there, so let's check it out. Alright, this is it. Jundnova. And if you haven't caught on to the nice little play of words there, this is obviously a Jund deck. We are running black, red, and green. And we've also got a little bit of an engine here with Jenova, Ancient Calamity. This card is a 1/5, costs 4 mana, one of that being black, one being green. This card says at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to Jenova's power on up to one other target creature. That creature becomes a mutant in addition to its other types. Whenever a mutant you control dies during your turn, you draw cards equal to its power. And you might be asking yourself, well, that's cool and all, but how do you guarantee that creatures die on your own turn? I've got an answer for you. Through a little bit of discovery in limited formats for Final Fantasy, it became incredibly obvious to me after being smacked down by an opponent with a Fenrir that was somewhere around like 5 or 6 power, that they could draw a massive amount of cards when this thing died at the end of its final saga, lore counter being added to it. Not only did they draw a card from Fenrir, they had a massive amount of cards in hand, and it was just over for me. And I was like, dang, that's cool. That's powerful. I'm like, who else can I put in the deck besides Fenrir that's a solid summon? We've also got GF Ifrit, allowing me to filter through my hand by discarding and drawing, and also adding mana, because who doesn't want more mana when they've got a lot of cards in hand? We've also got Brynhild here, over here, and netting us some card advantage on the first lore counter being added, where we exile a card from the top of our library, and any other turn where Brynhilder gets a lore counter, we get to use, play, or cast that card. Also, it gives creatures haste, which I'll share something with you in a little bit about how beneficial that is. Another solid summon that we can get out on the field is summon Esper Maduin. Obviously, we have to cast Esper Origins to make that happen, whether that's one time in hand and once out of the graveyard, or just once from the graveyard. And thanks to Ifrit, we can discard this card pretty easily. As with Bitter Triumph, we can discard this card pretty easily. We'll get back to my removal packet in just a second, but as far as summons go, those are some fine options. Fenrir is just the best in my opinion, because it also puts a counter on another creature, which takes me to Helena and Elena Partners. I've also got 3 copies of this, just like I do Jenova, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, you put X +1/+1 counters on another creature you control, where X is Helena and Elena's power. That creature gains haste until end of turn. So, Helena and Elena has always been a good card whenever it's been in standard, but it's only 2 power, and that's not always enough to push through the opponent and get that damage in. But let's say, just as an example, you have Fenrir down first and its second lore counter is added, and it pops off with that ability where you can put a +1/+1 counter on the next creature spell that enters, or sorry, you have to cast it. It's not one that just enters. So whichever creature spell you cast next gets a +1/+1 counter when it enters. So then Helena and Elena becomes a 2/3. Well, let's say you've got Torgal, a fine hound out, who's not only a mana dork for any color of mana. Whenever you cast your first human creature spell each turn, that creature enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it for each dog or wolf you control. So if Torgal's out and Fenrir is out, we have 2 counters alone from Torgal because it sees the Fenrir and itself. And if you got the second lore counter from Fenrir, that's 3 counters on Helena and Elena, bringing it up to a 5/6. And then you're going to put 5 counters on another creature you control at the beginning of combat, giving it haste, and the amount of power nets those counters on that creature. So we need some bombs to get out there and do it. And I don't know if you guys know this, but all of these are sufficient enough bodies to be cast before combat. I mean, let's just imagine you get 2 counters on this. This becomes a 5/4. And if Jenova's out and you want it to die and draw cards off of it, great, who cares? Swing, take something out most likely, and draw cards. Basically what we're trying to do here is we're ramping with Llanowar Elves, we're ramping with Torgal. We've also got another way of putting a counter on a creature through Precious Wanderings, but we also go and get a land, so we're trying to fix our mana to ensure that if we need to have black and or red, we've got a way of doing it. Black being the lesser color in this deck, it's probably going to be black. But check this out. It doesn't end there. I've got another personal favorite, like I mentioned, in Vincent Valentine. I've been trying for days to get this to work in Standard. It's not an easy card because it's a 2/2. It's so susceptible, but I don't know, guys. Let's just assume Helana and Elena's out. Get a couple extra counters on it. Becomes maybe a 4/4 or a 5/5. Then when it attacks, you flip it. Becomes Galleon Beast. And then you get another power from that. You got Lifelink, you got Trample, and when it dies, it comes back to the battlefield as Vincent all over again. And it's awesome. I've had this thing absolutely pop off. Then we'll take a look at Rakdos Joins Up. Similar concept. Let's get some counters on the things that need counters. Between Jenova and Helana, they both check their power to buff up another creature. So whether you're just trying to get through with a beater that's got haste, or if you're trying to draw some cards, this card is going to help you get there if either of these are killed and put into your graveyard. So Rakdos Joins Up. When it enters, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with 2 additional +1/+1 counters on it, and a little extra spice whenever a legendary creature you control dies. Rakdos Joins Up deals damage equal to that creature's power to target opponent. So between Jenova and Rakdos Joins Up, our creature's dying is far less of an advantage. It's pure advantage. Plan to attack with your stuff, guys. If you've got these cards out, I mean, you're just gonna pop off. Let's take a look at the removal packet here, because this is where I think this deck gets a little bit of solidity, and it's due to us splashing black. So knowing I've got Cut Down, it's just a solid removal piece for the early game. If I don't have Llanowar Elves out to ramp, or I do and I'm got an extra mana and some combination on turn 2, this can at least help us to set up our board. We've got Bitter Triumph as an instant, and as an additional cost to cast this spell, we can discard a card or pay 3 life. Keep in mind, discarding cards is always not the worst thing, especially when you've got something with flashback. And also when we've got Rakdos Joins Up. Paying 3 life may not always be the best option, but you can also destroy a target creature or planeswalker. So if you need to do that, and 3 life is the only option, don't be scared. We may have Vincent out. I had 52 life yesterday in just a game I was playing, testing this one out, by the time I beat my opponent, thanks to this card. We've also got Assassin's Trophy. It's 1 black and 1 green, so it's a little more restrictive with color, but keep in mind, green is my most prominent mana source in the deck. Having Torgal out and Llanowar Elves out is going to nearly ensure that you've got green every game. And you will. It's undoubted. And between Torgal and lands that we can go and fetch, we should have black mana. This is particularly here for artifacts and enchantments that you're struggling to get off the board. I have felt that's where the deck has fell apart. I asked myself just before making this video, what can I do? And I can add a card like this. I don't care if they ramp. I'm ramping. If we want to race, I'm going to have the most mana most likely between the dorks and the land, and I should have some nasty creatures out to take over the game. I've talked enough. You want to see the deck. I want to play it on the ladder. It's been a few days for me, so let's get some wins and let's freaking go. I'll see you there. Guys, as we wait for this first match to load up, I want to tell you guys, today is the 1-year anniversary of me rescuing my hoe of a cat from the streets. And if you could wish Luffy a happy birthday, that would be awesome. Throw me a little kitty emoji with the happy birthday in the comments to let me know that you caught that. Alright. Taking a look here, I don't have either of the main engines, but I do have Llanowar Elves. I have Brynhildr, which can come out later after fetching a land. I think we can make this work. We also have Esper Origins for a turn 4 play, so we're pretty solid here. I also only have 23 lands in the deck because I found it was just not necessary to have 24. I could probably even make the argument to cut down to 22, but I just don't feel like it. Aired Heirloom. Add mana, cast creatures. Target creature you control Power 4 greater gains trample and when it deals damage, draw a card. That's pretty sweet. I've not seen that. There's a lot of cards from Tarkir that I'm just not familiar with. Since I've got red mana, I think I'm gonna get Brynhildr out and try to get one of our engine pieces. Let's see if Jenova or Helena and Elena is there. It is not. That's fine. Curious to see what their deck's doing here. That makes sense. I wonder what they'll go get. Maybe Sheltered by Ghosts? Or another one of these? And each of those... Oh, it's mana value 1. I see. Well, maybe they're just doing like a Voltron style, build this thing up and swing? And it's not like I have any answers about that question yet, because we're still waiting for them to choose. So, enjoy your nap, guys. Oh, I'm sorry. We're continuing on. Just stealth mode. Alright, this is a perfect opportunity to get Fenrir out. Knowing... Well, actually, hold on. I don't have black mana. I could kill that. I need to kill that. That doesn't have ward. Let's just go ahead and... Let's get this guy out of the way. Again, I don't care if they ramp. I can't hang with that. I just can't. Not with my current creatures. And if Brynhildr stays around, we can also use this land next turn. I'm not overly concerned about the land. It is what it is. I think I'm just going to swing with Brynhildr. And then I think I'm going to cast Esper Origins. Oh, Rakdos joins up. That's sweet. Yeah, we'll do that, because either Fenrir or Brynhildr is going to wind up in the grave at some point. And that kind of makes a perfect play line. So next turn I'll do Esper Origins, and then I'll do Rakdos Joins Up if one of my creatures dies. Okay, why are they saying good game? They act like they know what I'm doing. Oh, let's keep in mind, I've got haste. That's when I cast a creature. Alright, so let's cast Fenrir. Let's go get a land. I'm gonna go get black. I don't have anything we can do. Oh, I was expecting that at some point. Oh, why would I care if you take that? Bro, who cares? I'm gonna block the 8/8. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, we may have just lost this one due to not having enough of an engine online. Yeah, there's no coming back from this one. Whatever. Lose a life, I don't care. So we have nothing else on the grave. This was just one of those games where we didn't get to do what we were looking to do. And it kind of feels like they probably had an ideal hand between the Herd Heirloom, 2 Regal Bunnycorns, and Sheltered by Ghosts. Like, yeah, they just kind of got the dream right there. They got ramp, they got evasion, they got removal, and they got fat creatures. So not really much I could do there. And that's game. So yeah, I'm going to leave this one. We're going to continue on. And this should put us right at the bottom of Plat 3. Just fine. So begins the climb. Alright, so we started off with a very humble loss, which is okay. We're right at the bottom of Platinum Tier 3. I am not seeing any of my engine, which is fine. I really think I should mulligan this hand. That's not much better, but we'll ditch a Torgal. At least we have some removal on a fatter creature. And calling a big creature fat is my new thing. I'm not fat shaming these creatures, I'm just saying they're big boned, okay? Calm down. Oh, do I see a Shieldred in the grave? Do I also see... what else do we see? Lord Skitter, haven't seen that card in a hot minute. Knowing we're playing black, they're probably gonna have removal. But I think they'd rather play that. Yep. Oh boy. And it's time for Jenova. I think. It's time for Fenrir. I think it's time for Fenrir. We're going to set up because there's going to be 2 dogs/wolves out. And we get the trigger for Fenrir next turn to put counters on, and then Torgal will see it too, and we should get 3 on Jenova. So that'll be fun. And we got cut down, which is actually really nice. I can't kill the Lord Skitter, but let's see what else they cast here. Oh, heck yeah, bro. Good chance we see Go for the Throat, Bitter Triumph, or just Mosswood Dread Knight. Sweet. I am going to kill that for one reason. I'm trying to get through and deal some damage. And I'd rather them spend their mana to recast that next turn. Oh, actually, let's let them attack first. Yeah, you can do what you got to do. Okay, they're on their end step. Fine. So let's kill this. Yeah, I know how it works. I can cast it as an adventure. I know. So that's a great card, by the way. Let's do Jenova. Check this out, guys. This is going to be so good. We got this here. It's going to enter with an additional +1/+1 counter, and Torgi, a fine hound, is going to do some fine work and put 2 additional counters on it. Yep, check this out. Hold on. It's for a human. I'm so dumb. I was thinking of Helena and Elena. But let's do this. Let's leave Torgal up, so that way we will have mana for Bitter Triumph. This becomes a 5/4. They can't block with anything but the Lord Skitter. We're about to get 5 damage through, my friends. And we're going to end turn. And before combat, if they don't do anything too crazy, I will kill the Lord Skitter, because I think we can take them before the Overlord of the Baelmerk even becomes a problem. Let them keep spending their mana. I do not care. Yeah, cool. So they're not doing anything to deal with Jenova or Fenrir. So at the beginning of combat... Actually, I'm not really worried about the rats. They pose us no problems. They can exile, cut down, sure. We'll let them do that. I'm gonna see what they do here. I'm gonna let them swing. I don't want to kill anything before combat. The reason I let it pass is if they choose to attack with Skitter, which they didn't, Impending 5, 1 turn left. We do need to kill something. And if they keep expending their mana on Dread Knight, eventually they're going to find the answer they're looking for. So let's let it stay around this time. Let's get rid of the Lord Skitter. I think I'm just going to pay the 3 life, because if we draw Ifrit, we can discard the land and get something else. There we go. Llanowar Elves, and I do have the strongest creature, so I draw a card. Now I draw 5 cards, and it should be just like game over for me. Yeah. So this is why the deck is so freaking good. The element of surprise on the standard ladder is mostly unaccounted for, in my opinion. We just drew 6 cards from 2 creatures. I didn't really do anything. I already dealt, what, 7 damage to them? 5, because they dealt 2 to themselves from the Dread Knight. But I mean, look here. We got Vincent, just putting him out. They're going to try and remove that over Jenova, I would assume. And if they don't, then shame on them. Or we could have just set up Brynhildir, got a Llanowar Elves down as a blocker, and we would have been set. So yeah, let's go on to the next one. Oh, hi, Slaver-san. Now, I would like to hit Platinum Tier 2. That would make me happy. Oh my god, this hand is so nice. Now, we're going to have to hang tight for a while, but we do have Esper Origins to gain us some life. I've ran more copies of that card before, and in theory and on paper, it seems like it would be a solid card in this deck, but on turn 4, flashing that back's not always the best option. I'd rather have that there as a fallback if I don't have these two, but it is really great for setting things up, because let's say, let's just get this out. Let's say that I know that there's, like, Rakdos joins up on top, or a 2-drop or 3-drop that's going to get a counter on these guys. I would rather have that. This is a sorcery. Then, I don't know what I'm saying, guys. Sorry. I'm thinking and acting at the same time. Either way, this is a great turn 2 play. Don't overly invest in this card, in my opinion. If you build this deck, play around with the card count. As you saw, it's kind of wonky. There's also a card I didn't share with you. I have Self-Destruct in here. Really, that's my other pet card with Vincent when he is flipped over. Dealing massive amounts of damage to any target and gaining life can just, like, get you back in the game. So let's see here. I've got Bitter Triumph. This seems to be a poison counter deck. We're likely going to find a threat here that we can get rid of. And I'm not afraid to pay life to kill a creature as opposed to discarding, because they're not going to try and kill us through getting our life down to 0. They're going to try and poison counter us out. And I'm trying to think about what I want to do next. I'm probably going to go for Halana and Elena. I don't need to kill anything yet. There's no other creature I see that's an imminent threat. This thing can become problematic with the spells that they cast. And if I get Halana and Elena down, it's got first strike, so it should hold that back if they don't have a removal spell. I don't want to bank on them not having one, because that's an awful game plan to assume that you're just going to pop off without any interaction, but they might have a counter spell here? Yeah, they do. I hate that spell. And that's how they get you. But here's the thing, it's not over yet. It's far from over. We only have 3 poison counters. There's a second one. I think we need to cast Esper Origins to try and grab a permanent, because when you cast this, you do get this whole part of the card again. Sorry, I'm on the left-hand side here. And if you surveil right, you can put a permanent on top and add it to your hand as soon as the summon portion enters. So, I'm going to play the tapped land. I'm going to cast Esper Origins. Torgal, I don't think Torgal's what I really want here. But it is a blocker. It's that or search for another answer. And I've kind of got an answer in hand with Bitter Triumph. I think I'm just going to take Torgal, because the other thing to keep in mind too is we only have a couple turns before its third saga. I don't know what we call it, the third lore counter is added to it, where we get trample on all of our creatures. So next turn I need a lot of creatures to come down. Yeah, okay, that's fine too, whatever. I think the move here is probably just Jenova and some removal. And if they counter this, I mean, I can't really do much. So let's give them a choice here. Let's pay 3 life. Let's try and kill one of these and see what they have to say about it. I'm trying to get them to tap down. Because if this is how they feel they are going to win, I want to stop them. Now the other thing is, they could just win next turn with some of their really cheap spells that proliferate or add more poison counters. So we should be in the clear to get Jenova out. It just feels like a bad turn because I've got nothing to put a counter on. So with that being the case, let's try Torgal. So I think they've got a spell. They have something at instant speed, that's guaranteed. Yeah, so that's one of the cheap proliferate spells that gives me another counter. Do they have cut down? I feel like they do. If they don't, I'd be shocked. Like, what are we doing here? Huh? I mean, okay. I feel like you should have the win if you did that. Okay, so yeah, they got the win. Yeah, there's some decks that, I don't know. Like that one, I've never really quite liked playing against it. The Lich King? Okay. Sure. Let's go. This will be fun. We go second. Duress. You got quite a few things you can take there. I imagine they'll take the removal. Which, if they're taking the removal, I'm kind of okay with that. There's more in the deck. Let's do this. Llanowar Waste and a Llanowar Elves. Always found this card funny. It's 3 Llanowar Elves in total that are combined a 1/1. I don't know how 1's easily divisible by 3. Thank God we drew out their mana door, because that would have sucked. I'm hoping we're safe for now. Please cast something and let me do something on my turn. Thank God. I'm so glad Stock Up's not an instant. I mean, it's a valuable card. There's no doubt about that, but let's do this. I've got black mana for Vincent. I just need red for Ifrit or any other red creature we cast. Whew, we should be good. Oh, Jenova. Yeah, I mean, we gotta try. And if anything, we at least bait out a counter. So let's see what they do. Might be enough to scare them. But I'll tell you what, guys. Ever since the standard ladder got reset from the wonderful bans, control has just become so much more oppressive, and it is infuriating to me. I've mostly been an aggro player throughout my MTG history. Oh, hello. Let's do Fenrir again, so we got another body, and we can ramp. I love this card. It's such a good card. I feel like once rotation happens, you're going to see this card a lot more. Let's get green. But, yeah. Control's just so much more prominent, and it's infuriating to me. As a mostly aggro player, I hate it. Kefka. Oh, 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 oh. I feel like it's Precious Wanderings. Even though that puts a counter on Halana and Elena, I don't know if that's what we need. Ifrit's probably going to get us to an answer. Precious Wanderings does not. Okay, so we get a counter on Halana and Elena, so let's do that. They are tapped down. We could put 2 counters on Fenrir. Let's go ahead and get the land down. They're not going to want to block with Kefka, I imagine. They only have 6 lands, so they can't transform Kefka next turn. I'm hoping we find a removal spell. And for us to try and make that happen, we'll need to cast Summon GF Ifrit. We discard a card. I'm going to discard Vincent. And I'm not going to block. We'll take the damage. Unless they have an answer, it's just game over. So we're going to try and put the counter on Ifrit so it gets haste, and that should be enough to close out the game. Because that will become a 6 power creature. Let's do this in case they have counterspell magic to try and force us to pay. God, this feels bad. Do we start with Torgal? Yes, we start with Torgal. Let's see what they got. Well, at least we have a board. I guess in theory I probably should have cast Ifrit first, but I was worried about the counter spell and I was trying to secure the win, not set up our hand. I got nothing to discard. If they have a land here, they're going to transform it. Then I have to sacrifice a permanent. And I'm going to sack land. What? What the f is that card? So they're not going for the transform? Really? Alright, well, this game's over. The only hope we have here is removal. And that removal is only going to work if they don't have a counter spell in hand. I mean, that's just going to set them up for the rest of the game, so whatever. And they probably got a counter spell, if I had to guess. Or removal, so either way, it's going to be over very soon. Yep. Very cool. Very cool.
When I win, you're telling me what you...
I am confident this will work.
It's over. Whatever, bro. I'm not gonna sit and wait for you to do this. Okay. Oh, down to tier 4. Great, yeah. Alrighty. I think this is a fine hand. So I've had a few games so far. I don't know if I've kept any of them in. I am at a negative win-loss percentage right now. Not a negative percentage, my ratio. Let's see what I can do here, though. So I got 3 mana. I got Fenrir. I need red mana, so let's do this. This is actually kind of like the ideal hand. I did just make one change. I removed 1 copy of Precious Wanderings and subbed it in for another Ifrit. I thought about also cutting my single copy of Self-Destruct because it's a pet card and putting in another cut down. I'll be honest, guys, I feel like I don't see my removal enough. And there's 6 removal spells in the deck, which is more than sufficient. 7 if you count self-destruct, which is really good with creatures like Halana, Elena, and Jenova. So I've got the additional counter that is going to show up. This has 1 more turn, so I need Jenova out to draw cards. So let's get Jenova. Or should I leave the body up? I think I should leave the body up. Let's do this. It'll get an additional counter, so it is 2 power. We're going to put that on. They've only got 3, so that'll push it right over the edge of what they can handle. Swing for 5. This is probably game for them. Yeah, sequencing is pretty important in this deck, and that's one of the other things I have to work on too. Not just in terms of cards you cast in a single turn, but setting up your turns as well. Because Fenrir is going to die, and drawing cards typically wins people games. And I need Jenova out when Fenrir dies to draw those cards. If I would have done Halana and Elena, it would have just pumped it up, and that would have been it. Oh. Oh. Okay. And I could probably also make the argument for another Rakdos joins up in the deck, truthfully. Oh, so I draw 6 cards. They might concede again. Dang, I got all my basics? That's freaking crazy, dude. Probably gonna... Well, I know I'm gonna cast this, right? Do I need black mana for anything? I will have 6 mana in total. So I really do think the safest move here is playing an island, because if I'm gonna maximize what I can cast, I'm going to do 4 mana on Halana and Elena, and 2 mana on Summon Brynhildir. And now I've got 7 cards in hand. I can cast that next turn. We're going to put this on Brynhildir, because I really don't need the Llanowar Elves next turn. It becomes a 6/5, and they've got to deal with that. So let's see what they do. This would be a great time to get Esper Origins. But next turn I might just do Rakdos joins up and get Fenrir back. And give him haste. And we're just gonna swing with some big old bodies. Bruh, I ain't worried about losing life. I'm not gonna lie. I appreciate the cheap creature theme you got going on, but I don't think it's gonna save you. And maybe I can draw into self-destruct as well. Yeah, bro, I don't care. Like, I don't. Do what you gotta do, but come on. Really? Okay, I'll block it. Oh, whatever I cast gets haste. So let's see, I've got 5 lands, 6 if I play another, 7 mana. So let's do this. Rakdos joins up is 5. Llanowar Elves is probably it, because I do want bodies out. But the next creature I cast. So check this out. Well, hold on. I'm not gonna get a counter on anything else this turn. So it doesn't really matter. I want this to have haste. I want to do Rakdos joins up. I want to go get Fenrir. Go get a land. I really do have almost all of my basics. That's freaking crazy. Put this out just to have a body. And I think we're going to start putting Jenova's counters on Halana and Elena. because it's probably going to become a target here in a bit. And I'm going to start swinging with my legendaries pretty soon, if not already, because let's think of it this way. That is 15 damage coming their way. If I swing with Helana and Elena, they're going to feel at least somewhat pressured into blocking it, but it does have first strike. And if they don't block it, they'll try to swing themselves, which will leave them open. But if they put enough blocking power in front of this to kill it, which I don't think they can, and they try to kill it, then I get damage, but I don't think this is ideal for them. They did say nice deck though, so I'm gonna... Yeah, I think they're cooked, chat. They should be cooked. This is a fun deck, so like I said, I'm not expecting a massive amount of wins with this one. It did help me to get through Plat Tier 4, which I was stuck in for a hot minute. And I just love this. This is utilizing Final Fantasy cards. It's utilizing Helana and Elena, which is one of my favorite cards. It's got ramp. It's got filtering. It's got removal. Like, it's just a good, fun deck. I'm sure somebody else out there could like tweak this into making it something more worthwhile and more powerful and more focused. I could probably do that myself. Oh yeah, we got the win here, so this is cool. Draw cards. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So we should have enough removal here to close this out. Let's get some black mana down to make that happen. So, creatures that can block and gain them life. This one. Bitter Triumph. We'll pay 3 life for this. Or we can just discard a card. Yeah, let's just discard a card. Let's get rid of this. Discard a land. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 mana to work with here. Next creature gets haste and it gets a counter. Just for fun, let's do Ifrit. I want to leave up mana for self-destruct. So let's do this. So Ifrit gets haste, gets a counter. Draw a card, discard a card. Let's get rid of a forest. Oh my god, we have cut down. Now, if I was smart, I probably would have manually tapped the forest over here to make sure we had more black mana. Let's go ahead and swing. So we're gonna put counters on stuff. I'll put one on Jenova just to spread out the damage. We'll put one over here on a Llanowar Elves, and we are going to swing. Let's go to blockers and check this out. This is just the extra spice on top. So we'll do it to Jenova because it will stay alive. It's got enough toughness to survive it, and we are about to dominate this opponent. Yeah, so that's what I built the deck for, and I love it. I love it. Oh, back to Plat Tier 3. Come on, let's go up a whole tier. Let's get to 2. What do we have here? A Johnny. This is not a great hand by any means. I mean, I've got a small amount of card advantage with Brynhildr. And by the way, let's talk about this. As someone that's played Final Fantasy 13 myself, what the hell am I looking at here? Like, now after looking at this multiple times, I finally see the face on Brynhildr. There's, I guess, a leg, like maybe an arm, maybe another arm, but I never have known like what I'm looking at with Brynhildr. So I think I'm gonna mulligan. Oh, yes, that was such a good move. I'm tempted. I'd like to ditch one of the mana dorks and be a little bit selfish here and put that extra counter on Jenova with Precious Wanderings, but let's be honest, Jenova's probably not gonna make it. But I guess what I can do is ditch a land. I mean, I didn't mean to do that, but we'll say hello. And they set it back. How nice. How nice. Oh god, I hate this deck. That's the problem. Like, there's so many decks I hate in the meta right now. This 3-year cycle is just, it feels to me like one of the biggest mistakes. Like, rotation should not be 3 years. It's far too much. It's disgusting. I'm over it. We're gonna have to race them, so let's race. Now the good news is they have a bit of graveyard synergy, and I did put 1 copy of Armored Scrap Gorger in since Torgal is legendary, and I wanted 4 mana dorks in my deck for 2 drops. But Scrap Gorger's going to rotate out beginning of next month. Let's do this. Let's go to combat. Put that here. We will not attack, so we can block the fear of missing out. It's weird not having any of my summons. This will be a tough matchup, but we possibly can win this one. And if they target anything in their grave, I am going to tap down Armored Scrap Gorger and gain a mana and exile whatever it is. Because if you're not familiar, I didn't go over this card at all. This creature gets +3/+0 as long as it has 3 or more oil counters. Tap it to add 1 mana of any color. When it becomes tapped, exile target card from a graveyard and put an oil counter. So if you do that 3 times or attack with it, you know, tap it any way 3 times, it gets those counters, gets stronger, and every time it's tapped, exile a card from a graveyard. And it's not a choice, you have to do it. So if you got something in your grave you're trying to keep, it's not the best, and this deck does bring stuff back from the grave, but it's only a 1 of. I mean, yeah, that's your only option. So we're gonna wait for them to swing. And they're gonna put it on. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll take 6 damage, sure. Sorry, I was thinking and things changed. So we're gonna take this. Pass the damage. On their end step, I'm going to exile Glacial Dragon Hunt. It does not matter what I add. We will get rid of that. Oh, nice, 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 nice. Well, we've got mana for self-destruct. We should probably go for red here. We're gonna put it on. Oh, how do I want to do this? If I put it on Scrap Gorger, it becomes a 2/5. So we could deal 2 damage to the Marauding Mako. I think we're gonna have to put it on Fenrir. So I got a bit of a plan here. We're gonna use Self-Destruct on Fenrir. Well, no, that doesn't work because he won't be around. I'll think about it. Okay. They might just have us here. Let's do it to the fear of missing out. and they might just have discard. I don't know. I think we lost this one. It's unfortunate, but... Put it on Jenova. Trying to think, if I attack, it does become a 3/3, and I'll get to put 2 counters on it. So give me a second here. So it'll be a 7/7. Oh, that's actually not bad. All right, we might survive this. I'm not going to attack. Well, end turn. Let's see what they do. I'm sure they've got something. All those cards in hand. All them teeth and no toothbrush. Oh my god. Do I have to bait it out? Maybe. Bet you didn't see that coming. I just realized they only have 2 lands. Oh, they might actually be cooked. I don't know. Oh, they have it too. Nice. It's actually a really good spell. I like it. Yeah, GG. We're just dirtling, and they gave us a freebie, so we didn't drop down a rank, which I love, but I never know when to expect it. If anyone knows why sometimes you don't D-rank when you're already at the bottom, let me know. If it's because you just got there, maybe that's it. Oh, Little Big Pro. Ooh, this is nice. I like this. This is actually a fun one. Halana and Elena with additional Llanowar Elves is so unexpected. Winning games with a 1/1 mana dork is incredibly fun. And we've also got Assassin's Trophy, so we can buy some time here, which I love. I'm trying to think of what could really help this deck, and I feel like getting to answers is probably it. And I added Brynhildir later, and I'm starting to think maybe that's not the card. It seems like we're racing here, and I don't have red mana, so this is actually problematic. I didn't even think that through. Yikers. Do I keep up removal? No, probably not. I'm gonna offer a trade. Throw down another one. Oh man. Didn't even think about my mana. Yeah, I wondered if it was landfall. Oh, but this is even better. Wonderful. So now we just need to buy time until we get some removal, which we've got, so never mind. Until we get red mana. That's what I meant. Sorry guys, I have not captured content that often recently, and I'm not as good as I used to be at talking and thinking at the same time. Because I'm usually thinking about something different than I'm talking about, and it doesn't go well. Hold on. I can get my own land. That's actually really cool. So check this out. An opponent controls? Never mind. I do need to kill something. I think the Bristly Bill is probably going to be the most problematic part. I know Tifa has trample, but Tifa with trample is awful when it has counters and starts doubling its power. So maybe, because they're tapped down, Tifa is actually the answer. I kind of just said it out loud there. Now I know they're going to get some landfall triggers. I understand that. But I want to bait them into blocking and killing my Llanowar elves, truthfully. Yeah, that's fine. And the way that we're going to do that is by putting another +1 counter on an elf and having 2 swing in. And they're going to be like, oh, I can block that. And I'm going to be like, yeah, you can. You sure can. But when it dies, I draw a card. Or multiple cards. Let's go. Halana and Elena is about to come down next turn, and it's about to be nasty. And I got Rakdos joins up, so that's pretty sweet. Yeah, go get your land, brother. You're wasting it. You're freaking wasting it, dude. You should have used that next turn when Tifa didn't have summoning sickness. What are you doing? A little big pro might. Never mind. Let me think. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not gonna do anything. What do I got in the trash? Just Llanowar else. So let's do this tapped. Let's do Halana and Elena. We're going to put a counter on Jenova because that increases the number of counters Jenova does. Next time, I thought I had my auto order triggers off, and I do, so there must be some type of layering between those 2 cards that cannot be interacted with. Let's do this again because they've not swung in yet. They just don't learn, dude. Bro, I'm gonna draw 4 cards. Like, do you really want that? I guess so. And I've got another Halana and Elena, so if I need to block, I can. And they're gonna start putting counters on Tifa. I still think they made a mistake last turn, wasting that sack land to go and get another basic. Yeah, because Tifa's nasty. Everyone knows it. I mean, let's be honest, she's real nasty. It's great art. Cool. Fight me harder next time, mommy. They're really not attacking with Tifa? Oh, yeah, I guess I have first strike. I'll have to take 9. But here's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna do Rakdos joins up. We're gonna go get Jenova. And do Llanowar elves. I can give Jenova haste. Becomes a 5/9. And if they have no way of getting lands next turn, we might actually just get them here. And I think we're gonna protect the engine pieces. So we're gonna say no attacks. But that was cool because Halana and Elena got the counter first, and then it gave more to Jenova, which I absolutely love. So this just may not be enough, because I don't think they're expecting this here. Check this out. This is going to be awesome. So it gives 22. Minus 12 is 10. I mean, I don't think we can win this one. Just due to the number of blockers, it's not going to work. Yeah, we're cooked, chat. Because we won't get our dies triggers when we're already dead. Screw this card. Hold on. With first strike, what can I do? Absolutely nothing. I got really lucky there. I mean, that's like obvious. But hold on. I mean, let's see how the layering works, because I have 13 damage I can send their way. I just want to see how it works. I know we've lost, but let's see. I think we just lose and there's nothing else that happens. Yeah. Damn, that's dumb. And see, I'm still at tier 3. That makes no sense. Yeah, this is fine. This is actually really good, in my opinion. So we got ways of getting to some answers. And maybe that kind of tells me everything I need to know about what I can do to tweak the deck. Maybe Prisha's Wanderings just needs to go. And then I sub in 2 more Brynhildr. And again, that's more in line with our engine with Jenova to have this die. And with Ramp, we can likely time that out the right way. Because the issue is, let's say you just had a natural curve from lands. Brynhildr is going to die on turn 4 before you cast Jenova. So it's not like ideal to get the card draw from it, but there's enough ramp in here that it shouldn't matter. Do I want to ramp or do I want to draw a discard? Probably draw a discard. I think we're going to discard the Land of War Elves. Or the Torgal with Rakdos joins up. That becomes a 4/4. I don't know. I want to save it for the counters for Helana and Elena. I mean, this is a cool spot to be in. You know, turn 2. Can draw and discard. Yeah, I think we probably should. Let's discard that land. Cool. That's a good one to have. I think Brynhildr is probably the right move here. Let's see what I can get pre-combat. Got a land. Wow. How cool. And let's do Torgi Borgi. Torgal really is a fine hound. I don't know if you guys have played Final Fantasy 16, but he's the best boy. He's such a good boy. Ifrit sticks around another turn. He requires 4 lore counters before he goes bye-bye. I got no creature spells to cast, which is an absolute bummer. So maybe I should have just ditched Torgal. But if we do this, we have free mana for Rakdos joins up, which is really nice. Why would you do that? No, let's do this. Let's do red. Oh, because it's black. Never mind. I see why we have to do it. Yeah, we'll get a mana dork and make it a 3/3. Which seems kind of dumb, but... So that's the cool thing about this deck, though. You can get a pretty wide board state and turn mana dorks into fairly powerful creatures. I wasn't even paying attention. They're probably about to reanimate. It's just game over. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's a better deck. And that's why I'm saying, like, this can't hang in the meta. And maybe this video is a prime example of you might want to build a deck because you think it's cool, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, if you're playing to win, like, good luck. Like, good luck against this. Yeah, we're dead. Yep. 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 Okay, great. I know this isn't the best deck in the meta, but it's one of the more consistent ways to just win consistently on turn 4. Yeah. Yeah, so they'll gain more life, they'll ping me for more damage, they'll kill one of their creatures, which is smart. You know, they kill the Galta and they just win. No, kill that, bro. What are you doing? This, bro. What are you doing? This. Ping me for 14, brother. Like... Why wouldn't you just hit me in the face, you dingus? You had to win. Oh, he still had it. Whatever. Still tier 3. What the flip? Alright guys, before we move on to the next game, I just removed Prisha's Wanderings from the deck, added another copy of Brynhildir, and another copy of Esper Origins, and on top of that, I added another copy of Ifrit, and I got rid of the Armored Scrap Gorger, so we'll see how this performs. It seems to be a little more consistent in what we are trying to do. I previously had more copies of this card in the deck and was winning more, and I think that's because it allowed me to get to some answers a little bit quicker. Let's see. So, oh, Yuna. Oh, this seems to be really good. Like, this is a really good hand. Yeah, I'm fine with this. Just for swag, we'll get that one out. I like to bling out my lands, honestly. I'd really like to. And here's the other thing too. As much disappointment as somebody could have from putting together a deck like this, let's say that you spent either money or coins or gems on wild cards. Rotation is about to happen. This deck is pretty rotation proof. Outside of the lands themselves, I'm pretty confident that this will still have a home somewhere. Blood. I feel like that needs to die, but not yet. Let's go ahead and ramp. Because Fenrir with Jenova is just nasty. We'll probably go and get black, because we got everything else covered. Now we're going to take a lot of damage from these lands, which really sucks, so maybe I should have just gotten green, truthfully. Either way, we'd be taking damage next turn, so it didn't really matter. And I'm not going to miss pain lands, truthfully. Like, I like them in theory. They work, but I'm not sold on them. Never have been. Yeah, put counters on it. Go for it. I might stall here a little bit. I might go for another Fenrir and hold up Assassin's Trophy. Well, actually, rather than holding it up, I'm probably just going to use it now. No, don't tap down Torgal. I want to do damage. And that's the other problem with pain lands. Like, the priority the auto-tapping system uses, like, it can ruin your games. It's happened to me. If you get lazy, like, it might just tap down a creature instead of a land that you intended to attack with. Like, but again, that wouldn't happen in paper. So if you're good enough to play in paper, like, you would know better, but you get in this, like, autopilot mode where you just get tunnel vision in arena sometimes, and, like, it can really screw you over. I don't think this is a great deck. We should have no problem with this. And Junova's getting ready to come out, so we'll get that counter on it. As long as they don't counter Jenova itself. Oh yeah, they're not going to counter for 1 mana. Bro, I am not scared of that. I am sorry. And we got the mana to kill it. Let's freaking go, brother. But let's do this. Da-da, 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 da-da. And that leaves up mana for Assassin's Trophy. Yes. Very good. No, stop tapping Torgal, you absolute turd muffin. And I'd rather lose 2 life from the land than whatever I lose from the Silent Hall Creeper when it attacks. So we'll let them go get a land. I don't care. We get a swing with 2 creatures. And we're going to put it on Fenrir. So it's a 5/4. Torgal's a 2/2. If all goes well, Fenrir will get sacrificed by putting a third lore counter on it next turn, and we draw 5 cards. We're reloaded. They'll be mostly out of cards, and we should win. And there's another thing that I could consider too, and that's running 4 copies of Jenova and 1 less copy of Helena and Elena. Oh, brother, I am so sorry. And I'm also sorry for myself because it's literally like all lands, and I'm not very happy about that. But let's do this. Do I need more red? Do I just need green? Do I need black? We got plenty of options for green, so let's do... Brother, why? And I don't see a reason for more black, so we'll do colorless, and we will cast Ifrit. I think we're gonna discard the Llanowar Wastes. And we're just gonna kind of ball out here, but we'll do that after combat. Put that on Ifrit. I would imagine, since they're some type of enchantment deck, that they are going to have Sheltered by Ghost, and we're probably going to encounter it here soon if we don't win. Yeah, sure, bro. Block Torgal. I don't care. I should have put the counter on Torgal, truthfully. But I really don't need to draw more cards right now. So let's do an Elves. Let's do an Elves. Just kind of grindy. I hate that card. Oh, nice. I imagine Jenova? Shocker. Well, frick. Wouldn't mind some removal here. Bro, what is up with these draws? They're trash. Dude, what in the world is going on? I've got 2 lands in the trash. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the battlefield. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've drawn over half of my lands. Nice. Yeah. Okay. I don't know, guys. I don't see us winning this one. Sure. Do it again. Sure. Yeah, I mean, we're getting stomped by an absolute trash pile of a deck. Like, truthfully, that's what the opponent has. It's not great. I'm not impressed with it. And we're gonna die next turn anyways, so... Because they have 2, 4, 6, 7, 7, and do the same thing they did again last turn, another 7. Like, we don't win this one. Yeah, it is what it is. Like, good game, I guess. And now we finally D-rank, and I'm back to Plat, Tier 4 where I belong. And I believe that. Like, that is something that's resonated with me for the past 2.5 weeks. This is where I've stayed. I deserve to stay here, and I'm not saying that to be pessimistic. Like, there's something I don't understand about either Magic in its current form or about the current meta, and until I learn what I need to change, I'm not going to rank up. Like, I've been a numbered mythic rank player. One point I was number 500 something. I've been mythic multiple times. I've been diamond. I've done this. Like, I need to work on something. I need your help as viewers to let me know what I'm missing. Something's got to change. So just to recap the deck and wrap this all up, let me know what you think. I still think it's kind of crazy. Like, we saw cut down one game with all the card draw we have. Can't even recall if we saw Bitter Triumph maybe once. Assassin's Trophy maybe twice. And there's 6 removal spells, 7 with self-destruct. Like, I'm not saying that I'm not to blame here, because I believe mostly I am. I'm the one playing. I have to take accountability. But is this just not a good deck? Let me know. Like, I know it's not top tier meta and that wasn't the intent, but what's going on? Is it just the wrong idea with the wrong cards? Or should I just be playing something better, like Dinosaurs with Rakdos joins up? Because that's a good deck. Everyone knows that. But I need your feedback. Either way, I appreciate you guys being here. If you're new to the channel, there's certain buttons down below that you can click that help me out. There's a certain place you can go to type stuff that helps me out. You don't have to. Don't care if you do. Don't care if you don't. Either way, thanks for checking in. See ya.